Bao Island Storyteller, Journey to the West. Hey kids, welcome to Bao Island. On Bao Island, every story has a taste. Today's taste is temple incense and soft hot spring mist. This episode, we're in Checheng Township. Today's story, Moonlight and the Journey.
Welcome back to the Bao Island bus. We've driven north from the southernmost tip, back up the Hengchun Peninsula, and arrived at Checheng Township. It's a small, quiet town, the gateway to the peninsula from the north. And right in the center of town sits the largest earth god temple in all of Taiwan, Fuan Temple. Gold roof, red columns, incense smoke you can see from the road.
Looking up, wow. This temple is enormous. The roof alone must be 40 meters wide. But it doesn't feel intimidating, it feels warm. Like walking into someone's living room, except the living room is the size of a football field.
The earth god Fu Zhengsheng is the most beloved deity in Taiwanese folk religion. He's not a cosmic ruler sitting in heaven. He's the local protector. He looks after the land, the crops, the neighborhood. Every village has one. But Checheng's is the biggest of all.
There's a saying, the Jade Emperor runs heaven, but the earth god runs your backyard.
Laughing, a god who's actually nearby. I like that.
Checheng is also the first stop of the Luoshan wind, the famous seasonal wind that blows down the mountains every autumn and winter, so strong it bends the trees permanently sideways. That same wind is what makes Hengchun onions so sweet.
And behind the town, hidden in the hills, there are hot springs.
Sichongxi Hot Springs, 4 mountain springs converging in one valley. Warm alkaline water, very soft on the skin. We'll visit after the story.
There's something here, something you can only taste on Bao Island, the incense smoke from the temple and the Luoshan wind and the warmth of the earth all folding together into one place that smells like belonging.
Excited, what is it? Tell me, tell me.
Take a guess.
Mouth full, let me take a bite first.
But first, Bao is already eating something.
Excitedly, I found squid balls. Fresh ones from a stall near the temple. Fresh squid ground up, mixed with a little starch and seasoning, rolled into balls and deep fried until golden. They're still hot, look at that steam.
These aren't the frozen ones from a convenience store?
Absolutely not. Fresh ones are completely different. The outside has this light crispiness, and inside it's chewy and bouncy, and you can actually taste the squid. It's sweet and oceany. There's a dipping sauce too, a little soy, a little chili, a little lime. One bite and, oh, that is so good.
The Hengchun Peninsula has great seafood, the Kuroshio Current brings nutrients from the south, and the fishing communities here have been working these waters for generations.
Mouth full, muffled, squid balls, temple incense, warm wind, this town is lovely. Okay. I'm listening. What's the chapter?
Chapter 36. This one has a full moon in it.
I'm ready.
Let's walk through the temple grounds. The main hall is ahead of us, and the courtyard is filled with incense smoke.
Please.
The scale of Fuan Temple is striking. The main hall roof stretches across the full width of the building, and inside, the earth god statue is the largest in Taiwan. The gold decorations are everywhere, but the feeling is more communal than imposing.
People are coming in with fruit and incense, bowing, praying. It's not formal, it's like visiting a neighbor. Just dropping by to say hello and ask for help.
The Earth God is asked for very practical things: health, harvest, family safety, business success. Not cosmic enlightenment. Just, please let the crops grow, please keep us safe.
That's kind of the definition of a good neighbor.
Behind the town, up a narrow valley, are the Sichongxi Hot Springs. Si means for, Chong means to surge, for mountain springs converging in one valley. The water is alkaline, very soft, almost odorless. People call it Beauty Spring.
Hot springs. Can we soak later?
After the story. The springs have been there for a very long time. They'll wait. Chapter 36. The pilgrims have been walking for a very long time, weeks of dusty roads, mountain passes, rivers with no bridge. Tang Monk is riding his white horse. Sun Wukong is walking alongside. Shu Beiji and Sha Monk carry the luggage at the back. One evening, they stop in a forest clearing to rest.
Just a regular camp for the night?
The sun had gone down. The sky was clear. And in the east, a full moon rose bright and cold and perfect.
Oh. That's beautiful.
Tang Monk sat and looked at it for a long time. And then, very quietly, he started to cry.
Quietly, why?
Because the moon reminded him of home. He'd left the Tang capital, Chang'an, years ago. He remembered his teachers. He remembered the monastery where he'd grown up. He remembered the night sky over the capital, which looked exactly like this.
Softly, he was homesick.
He hadn't complained. Not once, through all the mountains and rivers. But tonight, with a full moon overhead and nobody else awake, he let himself feel it.
Some feelings wait until it's quiet to come out.
Sun Wukong was sitting nearby, not sleeping. He watched Tang Monk cry for a while. Then he said, in a gentler voice than usual, "Master. What's wrong?"
Sun Wukong being gentle is a rare event.
Tang Monk wiped his eyes. "I was looking at the moon. And I thought of home. I know I shouldn't think about it. I know we have to keep going. But tonight, I just miss where I came from."
That's so honest.
Sun Wukong looked at the moon for a moment. Then he said, "Master. Let me ask you something. Do you see the moon right now?"
Slowly, oh.
Tang Monk thought about it. "No. It will already be a little less full. By the time we've walked another week, it'll be a crescent."
He's talking about the cycle.
"The moon," Sun Wukong said, "is never the same moon twice. The one you see tonight, you'll never see this exact moon again. The one you remember from home, that's already gone. It changed the night after you left."
Quietly, that's kind of sad. And kind of freeing?
Tang Monk was listening very carefully now. Sun Wukong kept going, "Everything changes, Master. Mountains wear down. Rivers change course. The people you remember at home, they're changing too. Your memories of them are already a little different from who they actually are right now. Nothing stays the same."
So, Sun Wukong is saying don't be sad because nothing is permanent?
Not quite. He said something more interesting than that. He said, "You're crying because the moon reminds you of the moon you saw at home. But you didn't love that specific moon, you loved the feeling it gave you. The feeling of safety, of home, of peace. And that feeling, the clear, still space inside you when you look at the moon, that hasn't changed at all."
Slowly, oh. So the moon is different every night. But how you receive it, you're pure, quiet heart, that stays the same.
Gently, exactly. The moon is a mirror. On a night when you're afraid, it looks cold. On a night when you're homesick, it looks distant. On a night when you're at peace, it's just round and beautiful and enough. The moon didn't change. Your heart did.
So the lesson is, the pure heart doesn't change. Even when everything else does.
That's what Wukong means. To awaken to emptiness, to understand that everything is always changing, and to find the part of you that remains still anyway.
Quietly, Sun Wukong explaining his own name.
He doesn't always know what he knows. Sometimes it comes out in moments like this. Tang Monk sat there for a long time after that. The moon moved across the sky. The forest was quiet.
Did he feel better?
He said, Wukong. I've read 10,000 sutras. I've memorized scriptures that took other monks a lifetime to understand. But you just said something in 2 minutes that I've been struggling to live for 20 years.
Laughing softly, Sun Wukong, accidental philosopher.
Sun Wukong scratched his head and said, I don't know what a sutra is, master. I just know what the moon is.
The most profound lessons often sound simple.
Because the person saying them isn't trying to sound clever. They just know it.
Tang Monk bowed to his disciple. Not the other way around. His disciple.
Quietly, that is a big deal.
And then they both sat there in silence and watched the moon together until it was time to sleep.
Okay, I need to eat something because that story was beautiful and I'm having a lot of feelings.
Laughing, good timing. There's a roadside stall near the temple with charcoal grills going.
Excitedly, look at this. Charcoal grills right by the road, clams, squid, sausages, corn, and these incredible prawns split open and grilled with garlic and a little soy. The smoke is drifting across the whole street.
The smell of charcoal and seafood is very distinct.
The clams are popping open on the grill, the broth inside is bubbling, and they've added just a drop of soy and some minced garlic. Eating, oh. The brininess of the clam and the smokiness from the charcoal and the punch of garlic all at once. That is absolutely perfect.
Freshness is everything with seafood. The Hengchun Peninsula's fishing harbors are not far, and the catch comes in daily.
Everything here tastes clean and honest. The seafood, the onion pancake, the mung bean soup, nothing is trying too hard. It's just good.
Checheng is a town that doesn't try to impress you. It just is what it is. And that's enough.
I'm eating the evidence.
Let's head up to the hot springs now. The valley is just behind town.
Sichongxi means for surging springs. 4 different underground hot springs converge here in one narrow valley. The water is sodium bicarbonate, slightly alkaline, and feels incredibly soft on your skin.
Odd, there's steam coming off the stream. The water is warm and there are natural rock pools where people just sit and soak.
The springs have been used for generations. No fancy buildings, just rock, flowing warm water, and the sound of the stream. Very low-key.
Settling into the water, oh. This water is so soft. It feels like silk. And it's warm without being too hot, just this gentle, constant warmth that goes all the way through you.
The alkaline water is sometimes called beauty spring. The locals say it's good for the skin. Whether or not that's scientifically proven, the feeling is real.
I can feel it. My whole body just relaxed.
For springs, one valley. Everything converging in one place.
Quietly, everything changes. But these springs just keep flowing. Year after year, the same warm water, the same valley.
Chapter 36 is a short chapter, just a few pages in the original. There's no monster, no battle, no magic weapon. Just a monk sitting under a full moon, crying, and a monkey sitting next to him.
Is it one of the most famous chapters?
It's one of the most loved by adult readers. Children sometimes skip it because nothing happens. But when people read the novel a second time, later in life, this is often the chapter they remember best.
Why?
Because at some point in everyone's life, you sit somewhere quiet and far from home, and a moon rises, and something inside you aches. You don't always know what to do with that. And this chapter says, the ache is okay. And there's something inside you that the ache can't reach.
The journey west is partly geographic, going from China toward India. But it's also inward. Every chapter teaches the pilgrims something about who they are.
Tang Monk needed to learn that his pure heart travels with him. He can't leave it at home. It's always there.
Sun Wukong needed to learn it too, in his own way. His name, Wukong, means awake to emptiness. He teaches the lesson, but he's also still learning it.
They're teaching each other.
The best journeys are like that.
Let's head back to the temple for the evening incense.
One more squid ball before we go. Eating, Still perfect. Still worth it.
Checheng is a small town. You can see most of it in a few hours. But most people who come once come back.
Because it's unhurried. The temple is calm. The hot springs don't rush. The food is honest. Everything else in Taiwan moves so fast, but Checheng just breathes.
Small town time is different from city time.
I think I need to live here for a month. I'll become a philosopher.
Laughing, or just someone who eats a lot of squid balls and soaks in hot springs.
Same thing, honestly.
There's one more thing in this chapter worth thinking about. When Tang Monk looked at the moon, his first reaction was grief. When Sun Wukong looked at the same moon, his first thought was to teach.
Same moon. Two completely different responses.
Sun Wukong had spent 500 years trapped under a mountain, completely unable to move. He had plenty of time to think about change and permanence. He knows things Tang Monk has only read about in books.
500 years of meditation that he didn't choose.
The punishment became the education. He didn't know that at the time. He was furious under that mountain. But all those years of stillness, sitting there unable to move, watching the seasons change through the cracks in the rock, taught him exactly what he needed to know to comfort his master, decades later.
Hardship has a way of teaching things that comfort can't.
Quietly, he couldn't have told Tang Monk that story about the moon if he hadn't been trapped under it for 500 years.
Exactly.
I'm going to think about this every time I see a full moon now.
Time to head out. The incense smoke is rising from Fuan Temple and the sky is going gold.
Today we came to Checheng Township, the town with the biggest earth god temple in Taiwan and warm alkaline springs hidden in the hills. We ate fresh squid balls and charcoal grilled seafood by the roadside, and soaked in Sichongxi's gentle waters. And we heard chapter 36, Tang Monk sat under a full moon and cried from homesickness, and Sun Wukong sat next to him and said, the moon is always changing. But the clear, still place inside you where you receive it, that never changes at all.
The moon is a mirror. What you see in it depends on what you bring to it.
And somewhere deep inside every person, past the tiredness, past the homesickness, past the fear, there's a place that stays clean and clear, like moonlight on still water.
Quietly, I like that.
We should go.
What's next episode?
Next time we're heading offshore, taking a boat from Donggang to Little Liuqiu, Taiwan's only coral island. We'll have black sugar mochi dessert and savory meat rice cake. And the story, a ghost visits Tang Monk in the night, the murdered king of a kingdom, drowned in a well by a demon who stole his face and his throne. And Sun Wukong has to find a way to bring justice to a dead man.
Excitedly, a ghost king visits Tang Monk?
In his dream.
That's so scary. See you next time.
Softly, the moon changes every night, but the quiet place inside you where you receive it, that stays the same. On Bao Island, stories grow up with you.